What's your take on Twitter? Jeez. The way I use Twitter is very different, I feel, to the way that a lot of people use Twitter. I use Twitter mostly just to see cool art and hentai. You know the verified tab that people have been complaining about and shit? You know, that now that is like saturated with just people who have bought the check marks and stuff like that, and people saying, oh, you know, my verified tab is now ruined because all these randos are in and stuff like that. Bro, I never fucking use the verified tab. I'm probably someone that's just kind of weird in that sense. And so for me, to be honest, nothing has changed. Didn't know it was a thing. Yeah, so when you're verified on Twitter, you get like your regular feed, and then there's a different tab called the verified tab, which is where it's basically your feed, but you can only see people who are verified. So like you get, you know, if you set it up like by default, you know, you get notifications from anyone who has a verified mark, regardless of if they follow you or not. It shows you like, you know, if any likes and stuff like that, how, you know, if someone liked your tweet, for example, and they're verified, just stuff like that, right? So there's just that thing called the verified tab. And now, since that with Twitter Blue, people can just buy the check mark and become verified, like just basically pay to win. You know, now there are people who have like, you know, 100 followers or like 0 followers even, who just paid for Twitter Blue and paid for the verification, who now pop up in that verification tab or verified tab. So now people are complaining, being like, oh, you know, the verified tab was good because it was like compact and actually like it meant something. But now the verified badge doesn't fucking mean anything. People are just like, oh, you know, now the verified tab is ruined. And I'm just sitting here like, who the fuck uses the verified tab? Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm the weird one. I've limited now. I've changed my settings personally. My settings are, I only get notifications in my feed from mutual followers. So people who I follow and they follow me back. And that's the same thing with the verified tab. So basically, and you know, I barely follow anyone on Twitter. I follow like what, a little over 400 people on Twitter, which on the grander scale of things is not that much. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Elon is fucking insane, all right? He's always been a weird fucking dude. In terms of like, oh, the verified tab is ruined for me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm looking at my verified tab right now. It looks exactly the fucking same. I just set it up so that if I'm not following you and you're not following me back, I don't get a notification. I don't want to be constantly bombarded with fucking Twitter notifications. People always been hating on YouTube Premium, but then they pay for Twitter checkmark. What the fuck? It's more the opposite, isn't it? YouTube Premium is good because it doesn't necessarily increase your status on YouTube. It just bypasses a lot of things that people find annoying, right? Like you don't see ads on YouTube Premium, right? Which is great. And it has like actual functionality, right? Like you get access to YouTube Music, you don't see any ads. Like YouTube Premium is good. It's worth the money. Like I'm paying for it. But like, what does Twitter Blue get you? I can tell you, as someone who's had the checkmark for a while, the checkmark doesn't fucking change anything. I'm just telling you, it just looks nicer. It's like it's like a flashy badge of honor. But like at the end of the day, right? Like I was excited about my Twitter checkmark for like a week after I got it, and then after that I was like, all right, well, doesn't really change anything. It's the equivalent to your dad finally, you know, giving you acknowledgement in your life after however many years, and then a week later he's just like back to his usual shit. You know what I mean? Not that my dad is like that. I'm just saying as an example. It's cosmetic. It doesn't. There's no functionality to the verification badge, in my opinion. Some people like the verified tab, and some people see really good use for it to see like, okay, which verified accounts, you know, have liked my tweet or like have noticed me or blah, blah, blah. But like now it's just, I don't know, anyone can pay to win to be in that list, right? And so people are like, oh, it's ruined. You can edit tweets though. See, I think editing tweets is the worst fucking idea on the planet. Like, think about the amount of tweets that get taken out of context without the edit button. And then that ends up causing a bunch of drama on the website, unnecessary drama on the website, and then just a bunch of people just stockpiling on top of that, throwing themselves into the conversation, getting involved, and then it just turns into a tumultuous shitstorm that you just have to wait for it to naturally die down for people to just get bored of it, right? That's without the edit button. Could you imagine what that would be like with the fucking edit button? Could you imagine how easy it would be to like say some stupid shit, someone reply to it, you know, trying to start a fight, and then for you to go back to your original tweet to edit it and being like, what are you talking about? Or, you know, people using the edit button to backtrack or to save their own asses, which then just backfires and then turns into another shitstorm. If they showed the edit history, that just adds more fuel to the fire, because then people will be like, ha, see? He's trying to hide something. He edited his tweet. Nothing about the edit button helps anyone in any situation. It's just going to add more drama. It's going to add more fuel to the fire. It's just going to cause more problems. It's not like on like Discord or something, right? Where the edit button actually serves a purpose, because it's, you know, it's usually, for the most part on a Discord, it's just a private conversation between one or maybe at most a number of people, right? And even then, shit happens on Discord chats. Now, could you imagine that on a public fucking Discord account? And now it's on like a fucking website where anyone has access to it. You don't even need an account on Twitter to see tweets. And then putting that behind a fucking paywall, that's shit behavior. And you know, people are saying like, oh, well, I guess it's time for us to leave Twitter. Where the fuck are we gonna go? Name me a website, because I'm not fucking going to Tumblr. I made a Twitter to escape from Tumblr. I'm not fucking going to Tumblr. Facebook is just a fucking gravesite for boomers, and Reddit and 4chan are like the two biggest cancer cells on the internet. That's the problem, is that I think Elon or the higher ups in his team were able to do that and able to do what they did because there is literally zero competition right now for Twitter. There is not a single other social media network, maybe other than Instagram, that is built like Twitter and serves the functionality that Twitter provides and that people like on Twitter. That's just for users like me. Obviously, Twitter has a bunch of other types of users that treat the website way differently to me. You know, say for example, if you're an artist, yeah, Twitter might not be the best thing for you anymore, right? And so it makes sense to go onto sites like Tumblr or DeviantArt or even Instagram. But as just like a place that you can get information and a place that you can just, you know, communicate and connect and stuff like that with people and find cool shit, Twitter is, not gonna lie, it's the best thing we got. Look, if they decide to take away my checkmark eventually down the line, because the whole, you know, Twitter Blue thing hasn't exactly rolled out yet in Japan. I can't speak on behalf of every type of person who uses Twitter, right? Because I only use it one way. But as someone who uses Twitter the way I use it, I'm just going to be straight up with you. I'm probably going to keep using it. And the whole like Twitter Blue thing hasn't rolled out in Japan yet. So at least all the content creators in Japan and all the people you know in Japan still have their check marks or whatever. But look, if they decide, and they probably will, if and when they decide to get rid of my blue check mark, for one, I'm not fucking paying for Twitter Blue. I might as well throw $8 down the toilet every month, because it is serving, unlike YouTube Premium, it is serving no functionality, especially no functionality that I want and that I need. And I'm gonna be real, as someone who's had the check mark for a while, it doesn't mean shit. And especially now that it's basically pay to win, even less so now. It doesn't mean anything anymore. I'm gonna use that $8 a month to fucking buy myself a nice lunch. But at the same time, I'm personally not gonna stop using Twitter, because I still see a lot of use in a site like Twitter because of the way that I personally use it and the methods, or not the methods, but like the way that I interact with it. Like, I can still see and follow cool artists and art. I can still keep in touch with my friends and fellow content creators to see what they're doing. It's a good messaging system as well. Like the DMing system on Twitter still works. Still really good. I have a lot of people I know in my life who my only point of contact with them is through Twitter DMs. Yeah, it sucks for a lot of people, and if people want to move away from Twitter and go to Tumblr, be my fucking guest, man. I'm gonna still keep using it, but I'm not gonna pay for it. That's for fucking sure. I don't know. But that's just my opinion.